In 1991, the Soviet Union possessed 30,000 nuclear weapons. They matched the United States military tank for tank, but they didn't die from a bomb. They died from a math problem. It took exactly 372 days to completely erase 70 years of undisputed superpower dominance. The British Empire took 3 centuries to build a machine that ruled a quarter of humanity, and they lost it all in just 30 years. Every single superpower looks at the bloodstains of the empires that came before them, and they whisper the exact same lie. We are different. Let me tell you right now, they are never different. There is a brutal, unforgiving 7-step mathematical sequence that kills empires. And right now, the United States of America just checked the box on stage 5. Here is the blueprint of ruin. Let's look at the original textbook case, Spain in the 1500s. They hit the absolute geopolitical jackpot. Spanish galleons hauled 16,000 tons of pure silver out of the Americas. They quite literally controlled the money supply of the European continent and should have ruled for 1,000 years. But unlimited money is a trap. It triggers stage 1, which is military overextension. Spain thought they could afford to fight the entire world. They fought the French, the English, the Dutch, and the Ottomans all at the same time, pouring half of their entire national revenue straight into the military. This forced them into stage 2, currency debasement. The Spanish crown started secretly cutting their pure silver coins with copper. The money looked the same, but the underlying value vanished, prices exploded, and inflation hit 400%. This leads directly to stage 3, the debt spiral. Spain declared national bankruptcy in 1557, then again in 1560, 1575, and 1596. 8 bankruptcies in just over a century. Why? Because of stage 4, loss of productive capacity. When you have a fire hose of silver, you stop making things. Spain's domestic industries rotted away. The wealth came in and instantly flowed right back out to foreign countries to buy basic goods. The richest empire on earth bankrupted itself into a tourist destination. If you think that is just ancient history, let's look at the empire that invented modern finance. In the 1920s, the British Empire was the largest in human history. The pound sterling was the absolute undisputed global reserve currency. But defending a global footprint is violently expensive. When World War I kicked off, Britain spent over $40 billion, which is $1 trillion in today's money. Before the war, they were the ultimate creditor nation. To survive it, they bled their gold reserves dry and took massive loans from the United States. The creditor became the debtor. To hold the system together, they manipulated the pound until the math finally broke them in 1931. Britain abandoned the gold standard. The pound lost 25% of its value overnight, and the world's reserve currency admitted it was broke. World War II was the fatal blow, bankrupting them completely by 1945. They lost India, they lost Africa, and the pound was replaced by the dollar. They went from ruling the planet to acting as America's junior partner in less than a single lifetime. 2 empires down. Now, let's look in the mirror. Grab a pen because we are mapping the exact same sequence over the United States right now. Stage 1 is military overextension. The U.S. operates over 750 military bases across 80 countries, with an annual defense budget of $850 billion. That is more than the next 10 nations combined, yet the military is stretched impossibly thin. Stage 2 is currency debasement. In 1971, the dollar was taken off the gold standard, becoming pure paper. Since 2020 alone, the government has printed over $6 trillion. The dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1971. America isn't mixing copper into silver, but the financial math is exactly the same. Stage 3 is the debt spiral. The U.S. national debt just crossed $36 trillion. America now spends more money just paying the interest on its debt than it spends on the entire military. They are borrowing money just to pay the interest on the money they already borrowed. Stage 4 is loss of productive capacity. America imports $800 billion more than it exports every single year. The factories were shipped overseas. America designs and consumes, but depends entirely on foreign supply chains to survive, which brings us to stage 5, social decay. Trust in institutions is in freefall. Infrastructure is structurally deficient. 38% of Americans believe a civil war is likely within a decade. We just completed stage 5. The trap is set. The U.S. thinks its incredible geography and massive river systems will save it. But geography cannot stop a math problem. You probably think China or Russia will replace America, but the rivals are bleeding out too. China has a lethal demographic time bomb, internal debt at 300% of their GDP, and massive youth unemployment. Russia is an empire in freefall with an economy smaller than Italy, acting as a giant gas station holding nuclear weapons. So what happens when America hits stage 6, the total loss of global reserve currency status? When global trade stops using the dollar, hyperinflation guts the middle class. But a new power is already waiting to take the throne, and it is a twist nobody is preparing for. The next global superpower is not a country, it is a corporation. We are shifting into the digital world order. Trillion-dollar tech giants already have market valuations larger than the GDPs of most nations, but they operate without physical borders. During the Russian invasion of Ukraine, tech companies literally blinded a traditional superpower by cutting off their software and providing secure comms to Ukraine. These corporations control human behavior on an unprecedented scale. Their algorithms dictate the flow of political information, creating echo chambers that sway elections and topple governments. While the U.S. government bleeds money, these companies spend fortunes to rewrite laws in their favor. If the U.S. economy cracks under a $36 trillion debt, these tech titans will simply fill the vacuum. They will build a multipolar technocracy where corporations effectively act as governments. You won't pledge allegiance to a flag. You will be locked into a digital ecosystem. Persia, Spain, Britain, the Soviet Union, they all ignored the math. They all burned. The United States just crossed the threshold of Stage 5. Stages 6 and 7 happened suddenly, brutally, and overnight. A currency crisis triggers a debt crisis, which triggers a political collapse. The only question left is what you are going to do before the clock runs out. If you want to understand exactly how to survive the incoming shift, hit subscribe. We are watching history repeat itself in real time. Do not look away.